just fed up with the smog in Los Angeles. I'd lived with it through the 50s and 60s. By 1970, I'd had enough. It was the first Earth Day. My father, Ed Begley Sr. Anybody remember Ed Begley Sr., by the way? Thank you. Wonderful actor. He was in a movie, 12 Angry Men. He was in Sweeper of Youth. He won an Academy Award. He was a conservative who liked to conserve. He was a great man and taught me all the great lessons that I carry with me today. He never used the word environmentalist, but he was one. He turned off the lights and turned off the water and saved string and tin foil, and that's the way he lived. And he taught me that. So he died a few days before the first Earth Day, so I wanted to do things to honor him, wanted to be part of the first Earth Day. I had been a Boy Scout. He got me into scouting. I'd seen nature up close and personal, and I wanted to do something to preserve it. And I did all this stuff, and what happened next, I simply didn't count on. I was saving money. I was saving money because it's something that Jim said, because I did it the way my father taught me. And this is a hard concept for some people. I had expenses match revenues. Imagine that. I made sure that expenses and revenues match. I didn't go out and get into debt in 1970 buying expensive solar panels. 1970, can you imagine what they cost? You know, I didn't go into debt. I spent what I had. I had very little money in 1970. You can check this out online. Go to one of these internet sites, shows you what I was doing as an actor. I didn't work much in 1970, okay? I had very little money. But I did the cheap and easy stuff in 1970, just the way my dad taught me. I did all this stuff, recycling, this and that, energy efficient that, turning off the lights, everything I could do. I lived in an apartment, composting, gardening nearby at a friend's place. I did all this stuff cheap and easy, taking public transportation because it was available near you, riding a bicycle, all this stuff that was cheap and easy. I was instantly saving dough. I went, my dad was right, I think I like this. And I saved more money and I moved up the ladder. I bought an electric car in 1970. Most people think, you liar, these lying Hollywood people. Electric car in 1970. Didn't exist in 1970. Of course they existed. Henry Ford's wife preferred her Baker electric to his noisy kerosene car. The first ones ran in kerosene, I believe, and later gasoline, but it was too noisy for her. She drove an electric car. I had not that kind of a car. I had what was called a Taylor Dunn. They still make electric cars today. Anybody who might work at a factory, a college campus, have heard of Taylor Dunn. They still make electric vehicles today. When I say car, I'm being quite grand. We're talking about a golf cart with a windshield wiper and a horn, okay? It did not have a steering wheel, it had a tiller. But I drove it around. I lived in the San Fernando Valley in LA. It was enough to get around. I rode my bike sometimes. I took the bus sometimes. When I had to get a week's worth of groceries and I needed a vehicle for something, I drove this electric car. And I discovered it was $950. That wasn't a bad price in 1970 for a car. $950. I discovered it was cheaper to plug in the wall with kilowatt hours than it was to buy gasoline in 1970. The same way my electric car is today. It's cheaper today to plug in the wall. Kilowatt hours would get me a certain amount of miles cheaper than gasoline today, even with a low price we just hit recently. And I've got to pull out some visual aids. I said I'd bring them out. You have this wonderful canvas bag. I hope everybody takes it home and uses it. Here's the trick with canvas bags, folks. Here's the trick. You're going to put them in your car. Don't feel bad. The first 10 times you go to the market, you're going to forget to bring them in. It happens. We all do it. But then the 11th time, you're going to be standing in your car. I got my car keys in my hand. I'm standing here. Why am I not going in the market? Because you forgot to bring the bags in. The next time you will. The 12th time you will. And in this box, and I have to thank them, Independence Power Light, these compact fluorescent bulbs. Here's a great way to, you want to do something cheap and easy. Get one of these bulbs, these simple little compact fluorescents, and you use it. This lasts 9 times as long as a regular bulb, and it's going to save you a ton of energy in the process. So I have some, they were quite expensive in 1992. I have some in 1992 I have some Panasonic compact fluorescent bulbs that are still burning today, 17 years later. I don't know why they're still burning. They're on occasional use. They're in my office. They're on every night. Whenever it gets dark, they're on all night. And, well, not all night. I go to sleep, I turn them off. But they're on for 3 or 4 hours every night while I'm in there in the office. But, so here's an incredible investment. This is the kind of stuff you can do. It was simply cheaper, the kilowatt hours, in 1992 to drive the car and to charge it. So thank you, Independence Power Light. Everybody take this home and use this. If you don't have one already, get some more, put them in every outlet that you can.